How can you tell if a used car had the airbags go off and someone tried to hide it? Yes, you often can. If you check the warning light, the airbag covers, the seatbelts, and the crash records in the restraint system in the right order. Here is the plain reason. When an airbag system fires in a crash, it leaves marks. Some are easy to see. Some are easy to feel. Some stay in the control module. A bad repair can look fine from a few steps back, but it is hard to hide every sign unless the whole system was fixed the right way. Start with the airbag warning light. This is the first quick check, and it has a clear rule. Turn the key to the on position without starting the engine. The airbag light must come on for about 3 to 5 seconds, then go out. That is the bulb check. You need to watch the whole cycle with your own eyes. On, short check, then off. If the light never comes on at all, that is a bad sign. A seller may have removed the light from the cluster or covered it so you cannot see a hard fault. If the light stays on and never goes out, the system has a fault and may be disabled. In either case, do not brush it off. This part matters because it is easy for a seller to rush past it. They may start the engine too fast. They may talk over it. Do not let that happen. Watch the cluster from the first second it wakes up. If the light does not do that 3 to 5 second check, stop and ask why. On a clean car, this part is simple. On a patched car, this is often where the story starts to fall apart. Then look at the two main places where the airbags come out. Check the passenger side dash cover. Check the center pad of the steering wheel. You are not looking for normal wear. You are looking for a seam that split when an airbag came through, then got glued back together to look whole again. Airbags break through set weak seams in the plastic or trim skin. After a crash, some rebuilders glue those seams, sand them, and spray dye over them. Use good light if you have it. Look straight on, then from the side. Run your eyes and your fingers over the seam. Look for small things that do not match. The grain may not match the rest of the dash. The color may be a little off. The seam may look too sharp in one spot and too soft in another. You may feel glue, roughness, or a small ridge under the skin. The panel gaps may not match from left to right. On the steering wheel, the center pad should match the age and wear of the rest of the wheel. If the wheel rim looks old and smooth from use, but the hub pad looks fresh, flat, or dyed, that needs a closer look. Do not call it on one tiny mark alone. A used car can have trim wear, but these are very specific spots. If both the passenger cover and the wheel hub look worked on, and the warning light does not act right, that is not random. That is a pattern. After that, check the seatbelts. This is one of the best tells after a crash. The restraint system does not only fire the airbags. In many crashes, the Pyrotechnic seatbelt pretensioners also fire. When they fire, they pull the buckle receiver down hard and lock things in a way that does not go back to normal. Pull each belt all the way out. Then let it feed back in. It should move smooth. It should retract with normal force. It should lock when you give it a sharp tug or put it at the wrong angle, not drag or bind for no clear reason. If a belt is jammed, slow to retract, rough through part of the pull, or odd compared with the others, pay attention. Then look at the buckle stalks by the seats. If one front buckle sits much lower, tighter, or more buried against the seat base than the one on the other side, that can mean the pretensioner fired. This check works best when you compare one side to the other. Compare left to right. Compare front to rear. You are looking for one belt set that acts different or sits different from the rest. A fired pretensioner does not always leave one exact sign every time, so do not hang the whole call on one stiff belt alone. But if the belt feels wrong and the buckle height looks wrong, that is a strong clue. Now check the date tags on the belts. This is a quiet but very useful trick. Look for the tags sewn onto the lower part of the belt webbing. It has a build date. Then look at the vehicle build date on the driver door jamb sticker. If the belt date is newer than the car build date, that belt was replaced after the car was built. That does not prove a crash by itself. Belts can be changed for other reasons. But if both front belts are newer than the car, and you also see seam repair or warning light problems, the picture gets much clearer. Ask simple questions if the dates do not line up. Why were the belts changed? Who did the work? Is there a receipt? On a clean repair, people usually have a clear answer. On a bad one, the answer tends to move around. The deepest check is a scan of the restraint system module itself. This is where a lot of buyers get weak answers, because a basic code reader for engine faults is not enough. You need a scan tool that can read the airbag system on that exact car. In many cases, that means an original maker-level tool or a high-end tool with real access to that module. What are you looking for? You are looking for crash data stored, deployment records, or hard faults in the firing circuits. If the scan shows crash data stored, that matters. If it shows a hard fault for high resistance in a squib circuit, that matters too. High resistance in that circuit can mean the airbag or pretensioner is missing, damaged, or not connected the right way. One common cheat is to install cheap resistors in place of missing airbag parts so the module thinks the load looks normal. That can hide part of the problem from a quick glance, but it does not make the system safe, and a proper scan can still expose faults or stored crash history. So, if you want a clean way to do this, do it in this order. First, key on and engine off, and watch the airbag light from the first second until the self-check ends. You need that 3 to 5 second light on period, then off. Next, inspect the passenger dash seam and the steering wheel center, and look from an angle so dye shine, glue lines, and seam waves are easier to catch. Then, pull every seatbelt to full length, let each one retract, and compare belt feel and buckle height from side to side. After that, read the front belt date tags and compare them with the build date on the driver door jamb sticker. Last, scan the restraint system module with a tool that can actually read that system on that vehicle, and check for crash data stored and hard faults, especially high-resistance faults in the squib circuits. What you do not want is one sign that makes no sense with the rest of the car. A good light cycle is nice, but it is not enough by itself. Nice trim is not enough by itself. A smooth belt is not enough by itself. You want the whole story to match. The light should pass the bulb check. The dash and wheel seams should look untouched. The belts should move right and sit right. The belt dates should make sense with the car build date. The module should not show crash data stored or hard squib circuit faults. If one area looks off, slow down. If two areas look off, assume the car may have had a bigger hit than the seller is saying. If the seller says the light is out because of a fuse, or says the steering wheel pad was changed just for looks, or says both front belts were replaced just because they were old, ask for records. Make the facts line up. If they cannot do that, treat the car like a problem car. This matters for two simple reasons. First, if the airbags are missing, the pretensioners are spent, or the restraint module still has crash faults, the system may not protect you the next time you need it. Second, You do not want to pay clean car money for a car that still needs airbags, belts, trim parts, and proper module work after the sale. There are limits, and you should keep them in mind. A newer belt date is a clue, not foolproof by itself. A steering wheel center can be replaced for wear. A dash panel can be changed for reasons other than deployment. And some restraint system faults can come from wiring or connector problems, not only missing airbags. That is why you stack signs instead of forcing one clue to do all the work. If you can only do one deep check, do the proper restraint system scan. If you do not have that tool, the best no-tool mix is the warning light cycle, the seam check, and the belt date check. Those catch a lot, and they tell you if it is worth paying for a full pre-purchase inspection. So the short answer is yes. There are real signs that a car had an airbag deployment and someone tried to hide it. Watch for an airbag light that never comes on or stays on. Look for glued or re-dyed seams on the passenger dash and steering wheel hub. Inspect belt action and buckle height. Compare belt dates with the driver door jamb build date, and scan the restraint system module for crash data stored and high-resistance squib faults. If that story does not match a clean history, walk away or price it like a repair problem. Check that warning light before you buy.